Hi, what's up you guys? My name is Eric and today we're back with my 2025 Toyota Tacoma TRD Sport. The purpose of today's video is we're going to be going over the things that I love about this truck. The first of that is going to be the looks. Every time I walk up to this truck, I just think to myself, wow, Toyota did a fantastic job with the 4th generation Tacoma. It definitely has some aspects that still resemble the 3rd generation and previous Tacomas, although they did really do a good job making it slightly more aggressive. The way that they angle some of the body work and create just a really nice, smooth, elegant style, yet it has a little bit more of a muscular finish. The hood has some pretty aggressive body lines, and I really do like the hood scoop here. The fog lights integrated in at nighttime. The headlight and fog light combination just looks really good. And I have added some front tow hooks in a red color. Bronze Oxide color, I think, represents this truck very well, as it has in the shade a little bit more of a darker tone, but in the sunlight just really makes the body lines of this truck pop. It has a very nice metallic finish. There are some fake vents located here on the front of the Tacoma, which I'll have to kind of say, I think if they would have made those functional, could be a little bit better. Coming over to the side profile of the Tacoma, I think that the 4th generation still resembles, for the most part, previous generations, although the fender flares are slightly more aggressive. And I think that some of the body lines, for example, right here on the top of the truck kind of comes to a point, which is something that's a little bit more unique to the 4th generation. That being said, it's just a standard mid-size truck. In my opinion, I really like the look of the 6-foot bed as it adds more length right here. So I just think it looks better. These 18-inch TRD wheels for a stock wheel, I think, do look good. One of my other favorite angles on the truck is what you're seeing right now. It's basically looking to where you can see a portion of the back and you can see down the side of the truck. I think that the fender flares right here look fantastic, but Toyota actually has the rear fender kind of flare out before, so you get a very muscular look, and the body line kind of curves down here. So again, I was talking about it in the front of the truck. I think that Toyota created a very good, smooth, sleek design, yet kind of made this truck a little bit more muscular by extending some of the body lines and panels. And you can really see that right here, especially looking down the side of the truck. LED taillights at night, I think that these taillights look really good. Tacoma, this is a black insert, and that is something that was optioned onto this truck. You can just press this button and it will open. So I think that that's really nice. But I do have the 3-piece fold tonneau bed cover, which is made by Toyota. I think that that also allows me to feel more comfortable leaving things in the truck. Put the TRD license plate cover, that's just straight from Amazon. But I think that the back and the side profile of this truck look just absolutely great. And I've said this before and I'll say it again, I think that the Bronze Oxide color really accentuates a lot of the design lines of this truck and makes it look very, very good. All right, next thing I do really love about the 4th generation Tacoma is how it drives. I know that this is a very controversial truck and some people do not like the way the transmission feels. They don't like the 4-cylinder turbo engine, but I have to say, after owning this truck, I think that the 4-cylinder turbo does a perfect job. I would not say that it's a very fast truck, but I would also say it's not slow. I think it just does enough for a daily driver truck. 278 horsepower. It has the power when you want it, but again, I just drive this truck as a daily and I use it for surfing and practical use, so I don't necessarily get in here and think I need to haul. But that being said, just sitting in here, it's a very good design. It feels really nice in here. Interior build quality is pretty good. There is some hard plastic and things of that sort, but I do think this is a very practical truck. So if you are using it for camping or outdoors and things like that, you might not want leather on the side of the doors and things like that, because you might, be more prone to damaging that than just hard plastic. Talked about the power. I'm going to put it in sport mode. And giving it gas right there, it had plenty of power. I really think that the turbo 4-cylinder probably gets a little bit more hate than it should. I am historically not a four-cylinder person. This is the only four-cylinder car I have ever owned. I'm normally a V8 person. I do not regret getting a Toyota Tacoma with a four-cylinder engine. I just really love it. I think it drives smooth. I think it drives just really nice. So if you're in the market for one of these and you're a little hesitant about that, I would do a test drive and just see for yourself how you like it and go from there. You know, don't believe what anybody else says, because a lot of people hate on this truck. And when it first came out, I didn't want to get a Tacoma with a four-cylinder engine. I go and test drive one. Look at me now. I own a 2025 Toyota Tacoma TRD Sport. So another thing that I really love about the Tacoma is I did get the optional 360-degree camera. So if I'm ever driving this truck into a smaller parking lot, things of that sort, I can go ahead and hit this button. You can have it automatically come up, but I just have it if I go into reverse, or I can press this camera view here, and it will show me cameras on the side view mirrors facing backwards, cameras facing forward, so I can see how close vehicles are to me in the back and in the front. So it has a lot of very good technology that assists you. I already talked about the 360-degree camera when it comes to parking this truck, parallel parking, pulling into tight spaces, but you also do have the rear view mirror, which is a screen. You can go back and forth between it being just a traditional rear view mirror, and or you can have the screen. I have never had that in any car, so it took a bit getting used to, but now that I am used to it, I really do like that. The front gauges, tachometer, speedometer, you have the ability to change that and display different information. So I think that's something that I appreciate as well. The massive display screen in the center, it actually makes it to where whenever I get in another car, I feel like the other screens are just absolutely tiny. And I think that that's something that really gives good situational awareness. And some people could probably say, yeah, it's a little distracting, but once you get used to it, it's absolutely massive. If you have Apple CarPlay up, which is wireless, you can see everything super well. It's very fast reaction, so I think that's really nice as well. Something else that I can bring up, this truck feels solid. It feels like it's built well. Yeah, people say, you know, the shift levers feels kind of loose, and some of these door panels, you know, I've watched a ton of reviews on these trucks. Some of them are a little loose, but it is a truck. I don't need this to be fancy. I don't need it to be anything other than something that I like the way it looks. I like the way it drives, and it gets me from point A to point B, and it's practical. Another thing that I love about the Toyota Tacoma 4th generation, and this can cover all Toyota Tacomas, it is a very practical truck. I went ahead and got the 6-foot bed option. I am a very big surfer. I go surfing almost every day that I'm not working, so it's important for me to be able to put surfboards and things in the back of this truck. I went and test drove a Tacoma with a 5-foot bed option, and I brought one of my boards and I could not even fit it in the back. So for me, the 6-foot bed, I had to have it, and that creates definitely a lot of practicality. Commuted back and forth with this truck a lot and thrown a lot of stuff in the back of that bed, and it has plenty of room. I also did talk about the fact that some of these panels are hard plastic up here and things like that. I think that also makes this truck a little bit more practical, because yes, you're going to get in some trucks that have nice soft leather touch everywhere, but in the end of the day, this is a truck that I got for utility purposes. I'm going to commute from point A to point B, and I'm also going to take it down to the beach, take it surfing, throw stuff in and out. I don't necessarily want to worry about damaging nice soft touch leather in just a truck that I use for utility purposes. For what I use the truck for, I think it makes it a little bit more practical that some of the panels are hard touch. One thing that I did want to talk about in regards to practicality is the amount of room in the back seats. I know these are things that I love about this truck, but one thing I do have to say about the practicality, the back seat room is extremely tight. I'm 6 feet 1 inches tall, and I barely have any leg room sitting in the back of this truck. I made a review video that I had done previously, and I sat in the back and kind of showed that. So overall, if you're taking into consideration using this truck for some sort of long road trips with a full family and having people in the back consistently, maybe that could be an issue. That being said, if you're usually just driving with yourself and one other person and you just need to put people in the back once in a while, that shouldn't be an issue. But that is something that I would take into consideration with practicality. So we'll go ahead and say, yes, the truck's practical, but backseat room, definitely not.